A baby boy is covered with angry red lumps due to a rare medical condition, and they even appear on his tongue and eyeballs. Oscar Langham's has a rash that looks like chickenpox all over his tiny body, which is getting worse the older he gets. It's so severe, strangers are scared to touch him because they think he might be contagious. Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. There's a chickenpox-like rash all over Oscar Langham's body. He was diagnosed with Langham cell histiocytosis 6 months ago. It is a cancer-like condition of the immune cells of Langham's cell histiocytosis. Tumors and organ damage can occur when the body develops an excess of immature Langham cells, a type of white blood cell that normally aids in the fight against infection. Despite chemotherapy and steroids, Oscar's spots haven't faded. When it comes to finding out what is causing their son's condition, doctors are baffled by the disease's progress. There is no hope for Daniel Langham's parents, ages 20 and 26. According to Miss Webster, who lives in Leek, Staffordshire, a few spots were found on Oscar's skin when he was a newborn. Something wasn't quite right with him, and it took a midwife to notice. She first assumed it was a normal reaction, like a newborn's rash. She only realized there was something wrong with him after she did. These occurrences have heightened the visibility of the blemishes. In spite of the fact that illness is not contagious, Oscar's angry-looking blotches make it difficult for people to approach him. Additionally, according to Mrs. Webster, onlookers often ask if he has the chickenpox and point out him in the street. For fear of contracting the disease, people avoid him at all costs. Because they thought he was contagious, they almost didn't let him see Santa at the Trafford Centre in Manchester during the holidays. It wasn't chickenpox, and he was allowed to enter after I explained that it wasn't contagious. Although it irritates me occasionally, it's the only way we can leave the house if we let everything bother him. Oscar's liver and spleen have grown in size as a result of the ailment, as well as an impaired immune system due to the fact his blood cells and bone marrow are not reproducing properly. Even though the exact radiology of the spots on Oscar's body is unknown, the condition has been linked to cancer, despite the fact the actual radiology has not been established. Although it has a 90% survival rate, doctors at the Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children are unable to pinpoint the cause. According to Miss Webster, Oscar and his family are in a state of anxiety due to the lack of clarity surrounding Oscar's situation. Due to the fact we have no idea what's causing the problem, our doctors have advised us to keep our fingers crossed. Countless blood tests, platelet transfusions, and skin biopsies have been performed on Oscar since his birth in May of 2015, among other procedures. When he was 11 weeks old, he began receiving weekly chemotherapy treatments for his spots and was later diagnosed with Langham cell histiocytosis when he was around 15 weeks old. Oscar's spots set him apart as one-of-a-kind case in the United Kingdom, where only about 50 children are diagnosed with the disease each year. For a baby to be born with spots is almost unheard of, Miss Webster explained. He began receiving weekly chemotherapy treatments when he was just 11 weeks old, and he's also been treated for steroids to alleviate the symptoms of his disease. Oscar's family is in a dilemma because doctors can't figure out what's causing his illness. Doctors at the Royal Stoke told me at the time of Oscar's birth that they'd never heard of anything like it. The group is perplexed and wants to know what's going on and what the future holds. Miss Webster's pregnancy was eventful, but she became concerned when her mother and cousin died during the early stages, according to her. Oscar was born 16 days late due to an emergency C-section after doctors were unable to induce labor. Despite his parents' and doctors' dismissive attitudes towards the spots at the time of his birth, he grew older and the spots worsened and became more noticeable. The family is still waiting for a referral to see a histiocytosis specialist, Miss Webster explained. Everyone is simply crossing their fingers and hoping that Oscar will get better on his own. No one knows how to help him because there is a little information available. It's a source of worry because we have no idea what the future holds. I'm concerned about what's going on inside him because he has spots all over his body, including on his tongue and eyeballs, she went on. Oscar, she claims, is a happy child despite his physical deformity, and she and Mr. Langham are unconcerned about his physical appearance as long as he is healthy. "We don't care how he looks on the outside as long as he's happy and healthy," she explained. "All we want to do is find some answers," Dr. Sarah Thompson, a consultant pediatrician at Royal Stoke University Hospital who has been involved in Oscar's care, said in a statement. Oscar suffers from a particularly severe form of an already serious illness. Oscar's immune system is overreacting to a skin problem, to put it in another way. Oscar was treated with a combination of chemotherapy and steroids, but his condition did not improve as a result of the treatment. Oscar is still being monitored at the Royal Stoke University Hospital while we await a specialized opinion from a national expert, a hospital spokesperson stated. What is a Langerhans cell, and what does it do? The immune cell disorder, Langerhans cell histiocytosis, affects the Langerhans cell and is extremely rare. Histiocytes are cells of the immune system that can be found all over the body. Langerhans cells are a type of histiocyte that aids in the fight against skin infection. During the course of a child's illness, these cells travel through the bloodstream to otherwise healthy parts of the body where they may cause harm. It can affect the bones or organs, and symptoms can appear in a variety of ways. A skin rash and lumps on the cranium are possible symptoms, as are a large abdomen, difficulty breathing, and diarrhea. Every year, about 50 children in the UK are diagnosed with this disease. This condition can affect children of any age. Boys are far more likely than girls to be affected. LCH's exact etiology is unknown, but it is not inherited from nature. Smoking should be avoided by all family members of children diagnosed with LSH, as children with LCH are more susceptible to lung disease caused by smoking. Even though the illness isn't cancerous, it usually is treated by cancer specialists. The disease usually affects children and does not manifest itself in any way that requires additional physical examination and support, such as a physical examination of the body and examination of mucous membranes. Routine laboratory tests such as blood chemistry, hormone testing, and cell staining tests use immunohistochemical methods, or CPI, in genetics or radiology, among other things. The CPI test usually yields positive results for Langerhans CD1, AS100, CD45, CD101, and CD68 in the majority of cases. These are tumor markers, which are typically specific or signal the presence of specific average cells, such as cancer cells. As a result, depending on the CPI data you provide, there's a good chance you'll get LCH results. Treatment for LCH in your case is primarily determined by the patient's clinical findings. LCH must be treated systematically, such as with chemotherapy medications. If there are multiple lesions or aberrant skin appearances, or if there are symptoms that affect multiple essential organs such as the brain and central nervous system. In the meantime, if there are no symptoms and only one development of aberrant skin, surgery or radiation therapy may be recommended. As a result, the doctor's assessment of the type of treatment that can be performed and whether the treatment is necessary right away is based on the symptoms that your child is experiencing. All parents want their children to be happy, and they help them achieve that goal by guiding them with love, time, and effort. Love is the most important gift that parents can give their children, and it is something that many parents overlook. According to some studies, a lack of parental warmth and love may cause children to become more stressed as a result of their parents putting too much pressure on them to succeed while failing to balance this pressure with affection. Children may be exposed to health risks. As a result, it's possible that if a child receives love from being a loving adult in their life, they'll be more protected from the impact of abuse on adult biological risk for health problems than children who do not receive love from a loving adult. Regardless of their accomplishments or lack thereof, love and affection help children feel safe and secure, and this boosts their self-assurance and confidence. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the section down below, and share it with others. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.